It is going to be crazy for a minute. Gypsy Rose Blanchard's husband, Ryan Anderson, tells PUPL. The Gypsy after Gypsy's release on December 28, Rose Blanchard and her husband Ryan Anderson are eager to start a married life after jail. But along with the enthusiasm comes some worry about how their marriage might be affected by being in the spotlight. 32-year-old Gypsy is a little concerned about how the couple, who got married in 2022 after first meeting in 2020, will handle arguments. In an exclusive interview with PUPL before her release, she stated, "I think the only fear that I have is, honestly, just making sure that we have good conflict resolution. Being a very in-the-moment person, I want to make sure that, should we disagree, I resolve the matter right away. He is the exact opposite. He must sit on things, consider them, and then return a few hours later to fix them." Get this week's issue of PUPL on newsstands on Friday or subscribe to the magazine now for more on Gypsy Rose Blanchard's case. Gypsy and Anderson, 37, had a long-distance romance while her incarceration that lacked the intimacy of text messages or even Skype or Zoom calls. Although Gypsy says it will be an adjustment, she is thrilled to be living with Anderson. She claims, "I've never shared a home with a man. I didn't even have a father in the house when I was growing up because I had a mother. I don't even know what it's like to live with a man," I say. Last Thursday, Anderson, 37, brought up Gypsy from Chillicothe Correctional Center in Missouri, where the Munchausen by proxy victim had been incarcerated for over 8 years for her involvement in the murder of her violent mother, DD, the husband of Gypsy Rose Blanchard, on arranging her first real date. She's going to get really cocky. Only available. In an exclusive interview with PUPL, Anderson discussed the couple's preparations for Gypsy's first days of independence. Anderson had intended to take Gypsy on a romantic night out, make her gumbo, and give her gifts. Gypsy's never been on a real date where you go and sit somewhere and eat and go to a movie or do whatever, he claims. However, he feels uneasy about the couple's existence in the spotlight. After being released from prison, Gypsy Rose Blanchard was picked up by her new husband, a wrestling enthusiast with a Hitman Heart license plate. "There will be a lot of attention, and it will be a whirlwind," Anderson says. "That still gives me a lot of anxiety. I'm a rather private individual." The Prison Confessions of Gypsy Rose Blanchard, a compelling new documentary series on Lifetime that premieres on January 5, will examine the couple's connection before Gypsy was released. The two became acquainted in 2020 when Anderson, a Louisiana special education teacher who had seen the case's 2017 HBO documentary Mommy Dead and Dearest, sent Gypsy a letter without explanation. From there, their romance blossomed. "There's not much she doesn't know about me," Anderson adds, despite the fact that they were only permitted limited contact. Would you want to read the most recent coverage of crimes? For updates on current trials, details on interesting unsolved cases, and breaking crime news, subscribe to People's free true crime newsletter. Despite the attention they are receiving, the pair is keen on keeping their relationship tight. It's like, "Oh, you're in the spotlight now. Go out there and experience it." Anderson continues, "But because it's going to be crazy for a minute, we've decided that every night we'll lay in bed, talk to each other, check on each other, and see how we're doing. I'm anxious, but I'm also excited because she'll be there to support me through it," he continues. Visit www.childhelp.org or contact the Child Help National Child Abuse Hotline at 1-800-4-A-CHILD or 1-800-422-4453 if you believe a child has been abused. Every call is private and toll-free. The hotline is available in over 170 languages around the clock. On January 5 at 8 p.m. ET/PT, Lifetime will debut The Prison Confessions of Gypsy Rose Blanchard, a 6-hour program that provides unparalleled access to the most well-known Munchausen by proxy victim. The 32-year-old Munchausen by proxy sufferer, Gypsy Rose Blanchard, recalls which of her unnecessary procedures was the most agonizing. She was released from a Missouri prison early Thursday morning. The recently released woman claimed that the procedure was performed to remove 2 salivary glands behind my neck in an exclusive interview with pimple. She remembers that the recuperation period was really hard since she didn't respond very well to the anesthesia. Due to her involvement in the 2015 murder of her mother, D.D. Blanchard, the Louisiana native was imprisoned for 8 years. Gypsy spent a large portion of her early years being misinformed about a number of ailments, which led to her needlessly having surgery on her salivary